Alright, here's my video for May 9th, and I think I'll start out with the higher time frame here. So here's what it looks like uh, on the daily. As you can see, we're still stuck in this balance here, in this volume node. And you see these two other ones, you know, high volume node, high volume node. It's like there's a high volume node, there's a high volume node. There's a see, this is all kind of in the same high volume node here. And and then we go over to where the volume profile's at. Here's what the volume profile looked like today, and it looks like right here is where our VPOC is. And this was Friday's VPOC. And there's yesterday's VPOC. See, overnight it touched that. And I kind of made the mistake of thinking it was going to go higher. Um, I thought, hey, maybe it can retest here. And then this is still open. This hasn't been touched yet. So it got this 4075, but that's a long way down. But we have CPI tomorrow, and look, there's all this low volume here. And we're kind of stuck in this this volume node here. I could even do something like this. Like, here's, yeah, you could kind of say that's the beginning of that. So where we would be looking at, so 4150 is kind of the high volume node of this whole 3-day cluster right here, if that really means anything. And we're going into a big report tomorrow, so there's a lot of CPI data coming out, and that could cause a bunch of movement by a bunch of different traders. So hard to tell what to expect. I'll bring that up right now. Let's look at this for tomorrow. We've got, there's, okay, 4 a.m. we've got that stuff, not really a big deal. So it's around 5:30 Pacific tomorrow morning. We're getting a whole bunch of CPI data. That's going to be a big deal. And look, we have crude oil, a few different CPI and, fuel and oil related stuff. How big of a deal is it? I don't know. Got the 10-year note auction at 10. But looks like the stuff that's a real big deal is going to be happening pre-market around 5:30. All the CPI stuff. I mean, that could go over into the RTH session where we have a whole bunch of stuff going on. So we didn't have all that much happen today. It was a pretty tight range. It was kind of just kind of a neutral configuration today. So these CPI numbers here coming out, that could be a big deal. And at 7:30, we have a bunch of stuff dropping, so that's That's one of the crude oil inventories. High volatility expected. And then there's this one, moderate volatility expected. The combination of all these, maybe that's... Yeah, so basically we got all these right here. We got all of that stuff. So yeah, I'm trying to use this Epic pen. See, I can circle stuff like that. See, there's all your stuff there. There's your other news events there. All your CPI stuff. There's 4 a.m. We got all this stuff going on. So today we opened. See, where did we open? See, was that? So we opened 4135.25, which is so we opened low out of range. It was low out of range. So the only one I have to really look at is this. So IBH, IBL, it's always broken. It says broken 100% of the time. And IBL favored by only 2%. Gap is closed only 41% of the time. So I might have been mistaken thinking that it would go back up, and retest in this area. VPOC shifts higher, confirming long bias, and that's well, it did right here. The VPOC shifted, and then it went kind of back down to where it was. See, look at this whole thing. It's and look there, we've got that. We've got that. See, it was largely just kind of ping-ponging back and forth. It's just a neutral day, pretty much. So, I did one trade right here. Wasn't very long after the open. Now, I had issues with Tradovate. This is the second day with it, and I'm doing my stuff on the simulator. I'm still working on my trade plan and getting to where I need to be to trade live. And when I do trade live, I want to pass that funded account, the prop firm program with Apex, so that I'm not putting all my own money at risk. I don't want to be putting my life savings at risk when I can be using prop firm money. And that's part of protecting my account, so I think that's a good way to go. But so I had this kind of bias towards the long side, thinking, okay, well, it touched here where it was yesterday's VPOC, and that was a naked VPOC until right then. When was that? 4:30. It was around 4 or 4:30, I guess it was. a.m. Pacific time. And you see how it's just ping-ponging back and forth. Look at that. It's like, yeah, I mean, just look at that. It's just look at that. It's just ping-ponging back and forth. It was not a good day to even screw with it. But I did, and now see, this would have ended up decent. Yeah, I tried to exit right here, but the simulator it just got all funky, and I wasn't able to exit my trade. I wasn't even able to log back in to Tradeovate. So they had all sorts of screwed up stuff with their simulator going on. It was the second day. It was real disappointing, but what I had intended to do is that, I had that bias towards the long side because of what I'm looking at up here, and 4150 roughly is kind of in the middle of all this stuff. So I figured, we got this volume node here. Couldn't it test up to here or even here? And there's a little volume node there. So right now we're going, okay, is this, both sides are going back and forth. Sometimes you call these candlesticks railroad tracks. They got wicks sticking out of both sides. So it's like a big railroad track just sitting here. Other than this, that was kind of your choice move of the day when it went long right here around 9:30 to 10:30. You had a good hour where it went up, so there's some good moves right there. And then it kind of got right here. That's not so good. I don't like it when these wicks are on both sides. It's it's just I mean, you can see here in Bookmap. Look at that. Just a nasty day. And there's still plenty of trades you can find, but it's pretty nasty. I did not like that. And so I spent the day, doing my typical moderator duties on Bookmap and working on these trades. I marked up this one. See, this one I did a little bit more than break even. See, I moved my stop up a little bit. And, I intended to exit here. Tradeovate just wouldn't let me. See, if I had exited here, considering how crappy the day was, that's not a bad time to just call it quits, I could see this stop divergence look 845 and 21 here. And it's going into, well, I don't know how much to make out of the iceberg, but because I mean, you could have these icebergs. Look at that. There's a big sell iceberg. But then it didn't really drive the price lower. It happened somewhere in here. I guess happened right there. Didn't really drive price lower. And then I see this, so that's kind of telling me, okay, we had this squiggling back and forth. Buyers are starting to be in control. I had that kind of bias towards the long side, which might have been a mistake. I probably shouldn't have a bias, but that looked like the more likely probability to me was that it would retest back up higher. At the time, it seemed like that. And then we have these sweeps. It's not taking it higher. Sweeps. You have exhaustion down here. You have exhaustion right down there. So you look right there. It's running out of gas for the sellers. and then up, and that's right there. That's where I scaled. This is right where I wanted to exit. The Tradovate screwed the thing up to where I couldn't exit, so this is where that happened. So that's kind of how that went. So I mean, this right here, see, somewhere right in this area would have been the ideal entry point, and then take that right up, and get out right here. That's kind of my intention with the whole deal. So I guess that's that. We kind of went over. I'm trying to get these videos to be shorter, make it a little more concise, but we've got all this stuff happening tomorrow. That's our main deal, is the the CPI right here, and then we've got the the crude oil, like I was saying. Got a bunch of fuel related stuff. We got a bunch of CPI related stuff. And where would our possible targets be? We have kind of a void right in this area, and there could be resistance, roughly right around 41.16 if it does go lower. See if it goes higher. If it goes higher, that's a target right there. See, 41.8875. And see, so 41.80. So 41.80 to, it's called to 41.90. That's kind of where your see, shapes rectangle. Okay, we're going to call that like, so I'm going to keep this here and see what happens. This is kind of where I'm looking at. We could have something going on. And then to the downside, we have this area. So 40.75. So I'm going to keep that in mind as we go into tomorrow. And then as for some decent trades, like I would say for the day, we were looking at the candlesticks there, and I'd be like, look at this stop divergence here. You can kind of see it running out of stops here. 1, 2, 3. See, they're running out of stops. So it's getting weaker. You have this structure here. You know that there's going to be stops up here. So I mean, getting long here, I mean, it could make sense. You got that stop divergence, and you're going up here. And I would say another good entry point would be here. It's off the VWAP. See, there's mid and VWAP. And not really much of a stop divergence here. But I mean, you had this first move up, and then you've got this one. So I'd kind of say like that is the move of the day right here. You know, and then try to get out, take profit here. But I mean, this is all in hindsight, so that's like it's really hard to spot in real time. So that's just me kind of reviewing what already happened. Which, I mean, over time I keep doing these, I'm going to get better at it. I'm going to be able to spot it in real time. I think it's already starting to help. But, I mean, we zoom out further, it just look at it, see, it's in a tight range, the VPOC moved up. You know, it looks like the volume was kind of average, maybe a little less than average. I mean, these two were kind of your choice moves of the day right there, or maybe like you know, this is not a bad one either. You know, going from like right in this area up to here. That's what I attempted. So that's what I attempted, and uh, Tradovate kind of slipped up that you know they need to be on the ball with their simulator thing because you know I'm trying to put my plan together, and so are a lot of other people. So I'm just going to go back in tomorrow. Tomorrow should hopefully be better. And, you know, I did make one FOMO trade. Let me see if I can find the thing. Where is it? Let me try to find that thing because I made a FOMO trade and it screwed up my whole thing I was working on. Yeah, see, so this is where I screwed up today. Yeah, see, I entered in right here. I was trying to go short, but then, see, then it went up, took me out. And then I was like, okay, maybe it's still going up. And then it took me out again. And that one right there, that was, or actually, I don't know, this might have just been accidental button click. But you know, either way, it just, you know, I fell victim to FOMO today. That was, no, it happens to everybody. It's just real disappointing when I do it. It's just, you know, I'm sitting there for 6 hours. I mean, I'm sitting there all day. I feel bad that I'm not doing something, you know. So, so for the week, I'm down slightly on the simulator, like $100 or something. It's, I mean, I can easily fix that tomorrow. You know, I'm trying to write down my statistics, my records, and trade journal on paper. It's something that Bruce recommended, was to do this stuff by hand in a journal. And then it might stick a little better if I'm doing it in a handwritten way. Because I'm not very skilled at using Excel. I can make a basic invoice. I still have a lot of work to do on that. I don't think there's anything wrong with just doing it on paper. Uh, so I'm going to be doing that. I'm still having a hard time with what statistics am I gathering? Tradovate will automatically gather my performance statistics. So it might be more going, how often does price touch from the overnight low to the VPOC, or things like that, stuff that's neutral, not involving me trading. Just what is the market doing? So I still have a lot of work to do before I'm gonna be able to make the cut as a professional trader. It's the most difficult thing I've ever done in my life. But I'm not going to give up on it. I've been working so hard on this for so long. I want to have some kind of result out of this. So I'm just going to keep on working on it, and I'm going to get back in there every day, and it's going to stick eventually. I'll pass that prop firm account, and I'll have a consistent routine. Maybe I won't be cruising around in a yacht in the Mediterranean, with a bunch of bikini models on the deck, but I think things will turn out all right. Things are going to turn out all right here. It's just going to take some more time. So it's getting late. I need to get ready to go to sleep. Get ready I gotta get up extra early tomorrow. I have some other things to take care of before the market opens up and I get back to it. So I'm going to call it a night. So good night, everybody, and I'm going to try to keep doing these videos, be more consistent with them. Some days I'm just kind of stumped on them, and I'm just like, man, what am I going to make a video about? It's just not much happened today, and I wasn't able to really pull anything off with trades, but I better just keep doing these. I think they help. I do go back and watch them, so it's interesting to watch myself and see what was I thinking. I can review myself. This is a good way to have a trade journal. I'm keeping them all cataloged. Like you notice when I start the video, I say, okay, here's my video for, May 9th or May 8th or whatever. So it's a better way to keep a trading log, and I basically have unlimited video storage on YouTube to do this. So I'm going to just keep to it, and I'm going to log out for the night. So I'll be back tomorrow with another video.